Hi guys, this is Keshika and welcome to our channel Amethyst Awakening. Today I'm going to do a yes-no reading. Okay, we are going to have 4 groups with us. Group number 1, group number 2, group number 3 and group number 4. Now for those of you who just don't want to select a number and want to see what pile you're drawn to, then I'm going to leave a picture for you right after the intro. Now let me just begin by saying what all this reading is going to cover. Okay, now this reading today is focused on your spiritual journey and just your life path, your life journey. If you're wondering if you're going on the right path, if there is anything that you're confused about, is this the right relationship, is this the right career, am I making the changes I need to get where I need to, is this path going to take me to success, am I going to fulfill all my dreams and goals and stuff like that, whatever your end goal or dream is or whatever you're targeting right now. If it's in terms of handling your relationships, am I having the right behavior towards my family, is there something I need to correct there in my action, like this is mainly focused on your growth journey in your life and if that is going to take you where you need to be. So when we are focusing on relationships or life, when we are focusing on relationships of like family relationships or friends or romantic relationships or even your work or anything of that sort, the answer or the question should be in alignment with the final goals. Suppose you want to have harmonious relationships with your parents and right now things might be a little rough, or maybe you want their support for some decision you're making and your question is is my approach the right approach? So today's question is more approach focused, more focused on where you are in the journey and where you want to go and if that is the right path for you. Okay, so the yes or no is going to be based on that. After the yes or no, I am going to look at a timeline for those of you who might have a timeline needed for the question. So suppose it is am I on the right path, and maybe it's you're somewhat on the right path, then the timeline would be for like when would you get there, or when will you actually align with the right path. The timeline for some of you could be when am I going to achieve my goal or whatever it is and stuff like that. Okay, so the timeline may not be very relevant. For those of you who it is relevant, you will know, and I am going to do that for those of you who need it. The key focus here though today, along with the yes or no, is pulling a guidance or a message from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so I have the Bhagavad Gita with me right here and I do this a lot in like my day-to-day life, and I'm like just wondering what the message for me is. Am I on the right path? Is there something I need to know? Is there something I'm not seeing? Or what is actually the message for me? What do I need to understand? And I just flip open and whatever message comes is the right message for me at that point of time, and it brings me closer to the absolute truth each time of the situation. Okay, so if whatever situation you're looking at, even if this is just your life journey and your final goal is liberation and moksha, this will take you there. If your final goal is just fulfilling your life purpose, achieving success, getting married, being happy with your parents or whatever it is, there's a message for you right here, and that's something I'm going to pull after the yes or no, which is going to be something new and different than what we usually do. I've done that once before, but it's been a long time since I've done that. So I'm going to dive right in and you can pick your pile or your group in the picture after this. See you at your reading. Bye-bye. Hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. Now I'm going to begin with your yes or no question, okay? What is the answer to group number 1's question? Okay, group number 1, whatever question you got, the answer that I'm getting to that is no, not the right time, ask another time. So maybe there is no yes or no for you. I'm going to ask if we need to do a timeline for this group. Actually we can do a timeline, so let's just do a timeline on when would it be to get the answer, I suppose. Yes, we could do that. Okay, next month, guys. This came really quick, but like next month. So whatever month you're in, a month from now, or like next month. Okay, so yeah, next month. Check in next month. Let's see what the message for you is from the Gita. I'm going to read it out for you in English. O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. Now the Bhagavad Gita talks about 3 modes in which a human or a living being exists. Okay, so we have the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. Now depending on what mode you're surviving in or you're living your life in, your faith is set to develop in that mode. And as we shift the modes we're living in, we actually shift our entire growth in our life. So a living being in the mode of ignorance then can move into passion, then can move into goodness. Now the mode of ignorance is where, you know, one is ignorant of the absolute truth. I suppose most of you might not be in that mode, and even if some of you are sort of getting out of it. Since you are on a tarot reading, I am guessing you're sort of at least getting into the mode of passion from the mode of ignorance. A mode of ignorance is someone where everyone, like the person's oblivious of the absolute truth, and then someone moves into a mode of passion. A mode of passion is where you're wishing, you're desiring, you're passionate about something. Even when you're praying, you know, you're praying with like a desire for something, and that is like a mode of passion. Mode of goodness is the state where you're actually surviving, keeping in mind the greater good, the ultimate good, and you're just praying just because you're praying, you know, and you do good things just because they're good things and they're things you should do, you know. So to evolve from one stage to another stage and move ahead in your life, it's important to identify what mode of existence you are in and try and shift to the mode that is a level above that. So if you're in the mode of ignorance, where you really don't understand what is happening, you feel like you're victimized and you feel like there is no hope, or like nothing can be done, or anything of that sort, you know. When you feel like life is at an ultimate low, or like you feel like there is no higher power and you're like completely ignorant of these things, and you have certain such thoughts or doubts, try to push yourself into the mode of passion, where even if it is for a desire, even if it is just to become better or to do good things in life, you're at least starting to go on that path. And if you're on the path where you've been focused on manifesting a particular outcome, then maybe it is time for you to just do things in a detached manner and let the outcome actually come to you, rather than trying to push for the manifestation. I hope this message was clear. Okay, and I'll tell you the chapter in case some of you want to read this, you know. Yeah, this is chapter 17, the third shloka in chapter 17. So it's right at the beginning of chapter 17, and those of you who want to look into detail can actually look it up and read about it. Okay, I have just given you the message based on just that one shloka and what it means, and intuitively what I felt guided to tell you. But obviously if you feel drawn to read it in detail, then please go ahead and do that. I'm sure it'll be helpful. If you're looking for a private reading, I am available, and my email ID, Instagram and Facebook details are mentioned in the description box below. Do let me know if there is anything that you like to share and how this video and this reading was relevant to you. If you have any ideas for the upcoming videos, please let me know that as well in the comment section below, and do like, share, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay in touch. I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye, group number 1. Hi, group number 2, welcome to your reading. Okay, now I'm going to begin with a yes or no question. And I'm so happy, and I think that happiness is from your energy. So you guys seem to be very happy nowadays, or maybe if you're not, then happy times are coming soon. Okay, what is the yes or no question of group number? What is the answer to the yes or no question of group number 1? The answer is yes. I feel like saying yay. And it's swinging so nicely. Do you see? Like, are you seeing the yes is like so clear? So nice. Okay, pendulum, you can rest now. Okay, stop. Cool. Now let me just like draw a timeline for you guys. I feel a little I get the number 2 for you, and for some of you I'm getting 2 days. Okay, it's like I'm getting like 2 days or like 2 weeks for most of you, or like for almost all of you who actually might have okay, I feel like this is a timeline for those of you who feel a little burdened or have some burden that's need to be lifted off, or something on your shoulders that is sort of causing some irritation or like, you know, discomfort. Then that discomfort or that additional responsibility that needs to be shifted, or that is actually someone else's burden or responsibility that you're carrying, that will shift back to the person who it belongs to within the next 2 weeks. Okay, for very few of you it could take like 2 months, but for most of you the shift will happen between 2 days to 2 weeks. Yeah, no other timelines coming through for you guys. So I'm gonna move to drawing a message from the Gita. It's like my best part. Okay, in this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. I love how this actually, like, I'm not surprised, but I love how this actually is connected to what I just said about like having someone's additional work on your shoulders. And even this says that you will be freed from the bondage of work. Okay, so whatever it is that you want to be freed from, or wherever you feel your responsibilities are extra, then that is going to go away the minute you stop focusing on the results, on whether whatever you're thinking of doing or whatever you're doing is actually a good thing or a bad thing, the right thing or the wrong thing. If this is something that you have taken up upon yourself or that has come to you somehow, then just follow your intuition, follow your gut, whatever feeling you have. And if you have taken it up, and you, even if it's like someone's, like if you're filling in for someone, or like this seems like something you actually have probably agreed to do for a while. Okay, so if you have agreed to do something for a while, or give someone another chance or something like that, without thinking about what the result will be, without like if it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, you have made the decision. So now just go in it and just leave it upon God, leave it upon like the divine forces on the universe, and just like liberate yourself from the result. Okay, and that ways, like whatever you're doing will actually be something you're doing for Krishna or for God or for like the universe or whoever you believe in. And when it's done without worrying about the results is when whatever is in your highest and greatest good happens, and it is when you truly feel liberated and free and you can enjoy your life and what you're doing. Okay, now that is what I'm getting from the shloka with reference to your reading, and like intuitively I feel is your message. But if you feel drawn to read about like the shloka or this chapter in detail to get to know your message in detail or further, then this is shlok number 28. Okay, this is shloka number 28 in chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. So for those of you, the name of the chapter is the most confidential knowledge. So if those of you, not if, but like if some of you want to actually gain the most confidential knowledge, then please read this, and this is just for those of you who want to do that. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that as an offering to me. Whatever you're doing in life, okay, whatever, don't think of it as you're doing it for anyone else other than the divine force, the divine consciousness, the greater good, the highest power. Okay, whatever you do ultimately is an offering to divine consciousness, because divine consciousness exists in each and every one of us, in all living and like non-living things. Okay, I just feel like drawing more and more messages for you, so I'm gonna do that till I feel like stopping. Men in this world desire success in fruitive action, in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. See, I think a lot of focus over here, even this is from another chapter altogether. So this is chapter 4, shloka number 12. Okay, for those of you who want to read chapter 4 as well along with chapter 9, the message here is that if you will do it with an intent to get a certain outcome, you will get that outcome. If you're doing it with like faith and worship, and you know, a lot of maybe you are worshipping because you want something, and you will get that if you really want it. But the best case scenario or the best way to do it is to actually worship without worrying about the result, or you know what you're getting, the fruit of the activity. Like stop worrying about the fruit, grow the tree. If you grow the tree, the fruit will come, right? As long as you're growing a fruit tree, like, but yeah, but like you will get the fruit. Okay, if I like saying the fruit tree example, I feel because like if you're not growing a fruit tree and you're still like, oh, I want, like if you're growing like in the point is whatever you're growing, okay, if you're asking for like apples with absolute faith and devotion, you might get apples from that tree, even if it's not an apple tree. But that might not be aligned with the natural way of things working out. And when you go against nature, it might not be the best case scenario. So the best case scenario is, if there is a plant you're planting and you don't know what plant that is, just keep watering the plant, you know, instead of being like, oh, I'm watering this plant, I hope it's an apple tree. And yeah, or like, please make this an apple tree, I'm watering it, and I'm like gonna say some mantra with it, and I'm like gonna do some spell work on it or whatever. Like, stop trying to make it an apple tree if it's not an apple tree. But if you do try to make it, and if you're really hell-bent on having an apple tree, then you will get an apple tree. Like, whatever you're praying for, you will get. But the guidance for you, or the message for you here, is try to detach yourself from the apples and focus on watering the plant so that the tree grows. Okay, I hope this made sense to you in your situation. Please let me know how this resonates. This is a really new type of reading. I would love for you guys to share any more interesting ideas you all have in the comment section below. You can always write to me as well. I am open for private readings, and I would love for you guys to like, share, subscribe, and just hit the notification bell to stay in touch. And I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye. Hi, group number 3, welcome to your reading. Now, I am totally prepared to do your yes or no already. Okay, so let's just begin. What's the answer for group number 3's question? It's a yes, guys. It's a yes. Be patient with it. Okay, like patiently it is. It's patient. It's like smooth flowing, and do you notice the oscillation? Like, it's very like moving ahead, and it's not coming back as much as it is moving ahead, which is very unlike a pendulum, if you know how a pendulum functions. So so yeah, there's definitely a lot of moving ahead, like, for you guys, and you are moving ahead on the path. And even if you feel like you're taking a step back or something, it's going to, like, very quickly, you're gonna, I don't see any like hardly any delays or taking a step back. It is not the fastest journey, but it is very smooth, and it's definitely a yes, and you're on the right path. And the pendulum says, ask anything else another time. Okay, you can rest. The timeline for you is 3 months. Yeah, 3 to 4 months, and maybe for some of you 3 weeks. Okay, if it's something that can be done in weeks, then it's 3 weeks. You guys seem to be in a rush. I just started with your, I don't even feel like saying what I'm saying. Like, why I'm in a rush, because I'm in so much of a rush. You guys seem to be in a rush. You just want to, like, move ahead quick, and you will, and you are. So, like, don't doubt that. Okay, but what's the message? There we go. You're like a super soul. You have, like, the qualities of Krishna, like divine consciousness, and the super soul in you. Because the message for you, like, the first line is, I just, like, read super soul first before reading the whole line. Now I'm gonna read the whole message for you. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. Okay, so of course you're the super soul, because the super soul is in your heart. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Endowed with such faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. It is probable that some of you are religious people who have now entered spirituality. Okay, and when you all make that transition, sometimes a lot of your beliefs are questioned by other people in the community, and religion and spirituality can move hand in hand. Okay, so those people who believe that they cannot, I personally disagree, but obviously everyone has their own beliefs. It is possible for you to be religious and spiritual at the same time. Now, sometimes when you're making this shift or when you're becoming more and more spiritual, you start getting questions like, who should you worship, what force should you believe in, and etc, etc, etc. Like, a lot of your beliefs are questioned. You don't know if you're actually going on the right path ahead. You don't know if you're like, you were on the right path and you're getting deviated, and it's just a little confusing sometimes. And I personally know a lot of people who get confused in the process or get a little stuck here, and they always have the doubt, am I doing the right thing? Am I worshipping the right God? Who is like the main power or the main force I should worship? And questions like these. And honestly, the message that's coming through for you, and the message that is the truth, is that whoever you worship, whichever power you believe in, whatever God you believe in, ultimately they're all the same super soul. Okay, they're all a representation of divine consciousness. So whoever you pray or whoever you worship, whether it's Ram, whether it's Krishna, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Allah, whether whoever you are praying, ultimately that avatar, whether it's Ma Kali, Parvati Mata, Shankar Bhagwan, Ganpati Ji, whoever, even if like you worship or like you're connected, or you follow the guidance of like archangels and anyone who's helping you in your journey, or anyone you are fixing your faith on, the divine is saying that you have the permission, or he actually helps you fix your faith on that person. Okay, so Krishna is saying that he is actually in everyone's heart as the super soul, and whatever God you want to wish, whatever angel, whoever you want to wish, Krishna himself or divine consciousness of the super soul himself or herself makes your faith steady in that person, so that you can devote yourself to that particular deity or that particular God. Okay, and it is important to stay focused or have that faith, and once you have that faith, you will receive the benefits. And you might seem like you got the benefits from Sai Baba when you did this, and you might feel like you got the blessings from Ganpati Ji when you did that, but ultimately, like Ganpati Ji, Shankar Bhagwan, Krishna, Brahmadev, Vishnu, everyone, like all the gods across religions are actually the same super soul. Okay, so whoever you are getting the blessings from, you are actually getting blessings from divine consciousness, and no God is more powerful than the other. So if that is something that you contemplate or discuss in your journey, then that message is coming through, that you just need to have faith in whoever you have and just roll with it. Like, just go ahead and you will progress, in whatever you are aiming for will come your way. All right, so I hope this helped you guys. I forgot to tell you, these shlokas are from chapter 7. So we got shloka or shlok number 21 and 22 for you guys from chapter 7, in case anyone wants to read the chapter or the shlokas and actually read the interpretation from the books or online or wherever. I told you the message that I'm getting from these shlokas for you in your situation, and you can actually read the actual situation from the Bhagavad Gita to get a deeper perspective on the same thing. Alright, I really hope this helped you, and if you all like such readings, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any other ideas or anything else that you'd like me to do on the channel or in terms of readings, then please let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I am available for private sessions, and my details like my email ID and Instagram and Facebook and everything is in the details section below. In any case, Please do like, share and subscribe if this helped you. Hit the notification bell to stay in touch, and I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos. I'm really grateful to have you around, and I shall see you around. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 4, welcome to your reading. I was about to say group number 6, and I also just saw 616 right now when I was about to say hi, group number 4. So maybe some of you are seeing 616 or 666, or like 6 is important for you, or maybe relationships are very integral in your life because the number 6 signifies relationships, and maybe your relationships are helping you in aligning with your spiritual path, your goal, your divine mission. Maybe you are in some sort of spiritual relationship that is helping you grow, that has brought you or gotten you more on the spiritual side, or on the soul growth journey side, has made you more conscious, more aware, and things like that. Okay, so if you guys are seeing 666, then you know this is your reading, and if you're not, even still this is your reading. Okay, so let's begin with your yes or no question first. What's the answer for group number 4's yes or no question? Okay, so I got no, could be, no. Like, no, it could be, but no. Like, it could be. So if you'll be like, you know, can't that happen? It can happen. Yes, maybe it can, but it's not happening. Okay. And it's like, I feel like it's not happening because because the universe thinks it's best that it doesn't happen. And whoever you work with, like whichever god you pray to, whichever angels, whichever guides or whatever, like people looking out for you from the spiritual realm, are actually protecting you from something by saying no in the situation. Yeah, see, all of that's getting confirmed. Cool. Thanks. Okay, pendulum. Cool. Should we get a timeline on this? We could. So let's get a timeline. It's not for most of you though. I feel like it's only for some of you, and it is okay, so I'm getting like 20 days, and I'm getting December. So anytime between 20 days and December, or like in like 20 days and in December. Okay, it's not in 20 days, it's like after 20 days. So anytime after 20 days till up till December, or like after 20 days in general, can be taken as a separate message, and December can be taken as a separate message, right? Okay, and I'm also getting that for some of you, if during the reading you got another question or another thought in your mind, then the answer to that is maybe. Okay, so with regards to the timelines, if you have like another intuitive timeline coming to you, being like, I think it's around this time or something like that, then maybe it could be around that time for you. All right, so maybe it could be like from 20 days to whatever timeline you were expecting it. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Okay, now I'm gonna pull a message for you from the Bhagavad Gita, and let's see what comes up. That was quick. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Makes so much sense in your situation that yes, it could happen, but no, it's not happening, and you might not be able to understand why, because it is possible for you to happen. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. One who sees inaction, like one who sees inaction, space in, space action, and action in inaction, is intelligent among men. And he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Okay. Now, what you guys need to understand from this message is that doing nothing is also doing something. Something not happening is also something happening, right? So when, I hope you're getting it. I'm trying to explain it, like I'm going to give you a few examples maybe. Okay, so suppose my friends give me a call and ask me to go on a trip to say Lonavala or any nearby hill station, or like, I don't know, wherever. So now I could go for it and I could not go for it, right? In the lockdown situation, it would be a forbidden action to actually go for it, also because it is not in alignment with the greater good. If it wasn't a lockdown situation, and suppose this was pre-COVID times or pre-lockdown times and there was no rule or regulation stopping me from going for the trip, in that case, and suppose it was like an event, you know, suppose it was someone's wedding ceremony or something like that, then a proper action would be to go for the trip. Now, while we're understanding what both the possible actions are, or what a forbidden action could be, a forbidden action is something that is not in alignment with the greater good. At the same time, it is important to understand that inaction is also action, which means not going is also action, right? The action here is choosing to stay where I am instead of going and not engaging in forbidden action, for example. Another thought that randomly came to my mind when I was saying that is no response or no contact is also a sort of response. No answer is also an answer. While no answer or no response might not be a no, it is definitely not a yes also, right? And it is not a no also. So like when you're not getting a response or when you don't have an answer, it is best to stay in a state of inaction, because that is the action you are supposed to do at that point. You still are awaiting clarity on your situation, some information, some communication, something of that sort. Now, do not make assumptions, okay? Choose to not make assumptions and stay in a position of inaction till the other person responds or till you get more information on the situation. Now, more information need not come externally, more information can come internally as well. But sometimes acting out of assumption might not be the best thing to do. Yes, you could do it, but should you do it? No. Right? And this actually reminds me of this incident from, I was actually watching like the serial Radha Krishna last night, and there was this incident from the Mahabharata part of the story. So there what happens is the Pandavas, and for those of you who don't even understand Mahabharata or the characters, just listen to it as a story, okay? So there is a family of 5 sons called the Pandavas and their mother Kunti. Now they are cousins of Krishna, who is an avatar of the super soul, and the avatar that is actually is reading the Bhagavad Gita to one of the Pandavas, who is Arjun. Okay, now the Pandavas have first cousins, their dad's brother's sons, called the Kauravas. Now these guys did not like the Pandavas, and they have tried to kill them in the past multiple times. Again, another situation so arose when the Pandavas were hiding somewhere in the woods, waiting for an opportunity to actually come the true identity. So they were like, you know, in disguise, hidden somewhere in the woods, and their identity was just out recently. So the Kauravas had found out about them, and they had sent their army to attack on these guys. Now these guys saw the army there. They were actually circled by the army, and they wanted to attack because they didn't want to die when they were circled by the army, and they knew that once they start shooting, then it's going to be too late maybe, and you know, someone could get injured. Their mom was there, their wife was there, and they just wanted to attack. At that point of time, Krishna stopped them, and he said that do not act, like wait for them to attack, because you don't want to fight, right? The Pandavas didn't want to fight. Their intent was self-defense, but self-defense is only considered, oh my god, 1 second. So self-defense is only considered self-defense once the other person attacks, right? You cannot assume they were going to attack and start attacking. In that case, you attacked, like in your head they attacked, but in reality they've not attacked. And it's like you calling out the war on someone, which you don't want to do, because you don't have, like, it's not something you want to do. You in fact want to go back to your kingdom where these guys are there. And had they attacked the people first, then they would have become traitors of the entire nation, and they would have never been able to like enter, they would never be allowed to enter their own kingdom again, which would have been like, it's like tragic, you know. And so good that they didn't do, and just in time their uncle came in to stop the army once he got to know that their evil brothers had sent the army, you know. So ideally they did not have to do anything, they did not have to attack, they did not get attacked, and everything got sorted in time. So right now it seems like for you guys, it's time for inaction. It's not time for inaction, it's not time for action. And understand that in action there is action, you know, or inaction is also action. Yeah, so the minute you start seeing that, and you start seeing, like, you know, action and inaction and inaction and action, that's when you reach like a transcendental position in your life, and you actually have that kind of, you know, peace and clarity and vision. So it's important now for you guys, like, you guys have been doing the right thing maybe, but it's time for you to understand that it is okay to do nothing. And maybe it's time for you to do nothing and just like wait and watch, okay, for 20 days. All right, so till then I will keep doing different readings and telling y'all, and y'all can keep watching them. And do let me know if there are any other topics that you would like me to do videos on in the comment section below. Let me know how this resonated and if this really helped you. For those of you, I'm not sure I told you all before, so for those of you who would like to read about these shlokas or this chapter more in detail, this is chapter 4, shloka number 17 and 18 from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I have explained the message in intuitively in relation to like how I feel it is relevant in your situation, but I would still strongly suggest that you guys read it yourself and see if you can derive any other message from it yourself. You could read interpretations, but I personally like just reading the translations and seeing how I interpret them in the situation. Okay, so that's a personal choice. And yeah, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay in touch. If you're looking for a private reading, my email ID, Facebook, Instagram is all linked below. I look forward to keeping in touch with you guys and seeing you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye.